We are back live. Bitcoin last hour. It looks like it broke out a little bit above the previous 2 hours. Was that enough to turn the 7 moving average on the daily chart up? Not sure. I haven't looked yet, but this is going to be a good looking candlestick on the daily chart with a 4-hour rally into the close today. Okay, we're not going to get the candle yet. Okay, Bitcoin, yes, I'll zoom in on that, but the 7 moving average moved up. That's encouraging. It was pointed almost straight down. Okay, so that is great. That gives me hope that all my positions are safe. If that had closed, okay, 20 minutes to go, anything can happen, but it looks like they're strengthening at the end of the day. Okay, I was worried. First of all, this is going to be the highest closing price if this holds higher than this day, higher. The close on this day was down here. Close on this day was here. The close here was way down here. Okay, so this is the highest closing price since this day. Very encouraging. A nice uptick. A close above the 7 moving average. A close above yesterday's close. It hit on all 3 marks. Okay, so this is good. This is very encouraging. All right, let's reset. And it's not doing it. All right, well, let's just refresh then. Not sure what happened there, but I guess I might be zoomed in. All right, back to this. But okay, I'm encouraged. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the text here. The line will remain. That is my stop loss on the hourly chart. I have 7.1 positions in ETH from just under 2,000 to 2,200. Haven't added much since then. I was waiting for this day on Bitcoin. So let's go back to the daily chart. All right, good. All right, the line you saw on the hourly chart is also valid on this daily chart. Okay, I will not let my positions in Ethereum ever go below this line here or on the hourly, this major level of support. This is now a level of support, and it looks like ETH has 20 minutes to break out to new highs here and make that daily candle a much more bullish, but you can't really do better than that. Okay, a close right here, that close to the high with, yeah, volume's down a little, but we're never going to see this kind of volume in this range again. Not until we hit another top or another bottom. This is bottoming action volume. There wasn't much at the top in comparison. Okay, this was the sell signal day. CCI down through plus 100 and a close below the 7 moving average. Okay, so Bitcoin's candle is only halfway up. What I mean by that is the whole length of the candle, the body or the wide part, isn't even halfway up, just under it. So, I mean, it's kind of bullish, but this one here is very bullish. That's a great looking 1, 2, 3 in a row with day 3. Huge upside. It's way bigger than the body of this candle. No gaps. That's pretty impressive. So the days of Ethereum following Bitcoin may be over. As you can see, they parted ways right around here on the daily chart. ETH went up and Bitcoin failed to break out to, he broke out to the new highs here. Okay, but then had this serious pullback while ETH really didn't. So the change really became apparent right here on April the, it looks like it crossed down this day, the 7 MA down through the 20 MA. Okay, but the sell signal on the CCI actually came here. When you drop below zero, it's time to sell. Because uptrend above zero, downtrend below zero, right here. Downtrend below zero, uptrend above zero, downtrend, okay, uptrend, downtrend. Now we're getting to the zero line. Okay, the initial buy signal was at minus 100 when it crossed up through it on this day, and a close above the 7 MA confirmed it. Okay, the next buy signal comes anytime you want, really, but it looks like we're going to continue up. The zero line buy signal is where we cross up through the middle Bollinger Band at the 20 period, because the CCI is also at the 20 period. Okay, when we get here, expect resistance. It'll be down a little bit by the time it gets up there, probably right here, 3,200. So expect resistance in that zone, since we're already, it's not guaranteed we're headed that way. Watch for resistance at zero also. A little ways to go till we get there. About 44 points. 63, almost 64 on Bitcoin. But the buy signal here on the daily chart was at minus 100 on this day when it closed above the 7 moving average. So right now the buy signals are looking good. We're waiting on the zero line buy signal. But at that point, I will be all in on my swing positions. I have 3 more to go. And it'll be right in this zone. And then once I take the very last one, when he breaks above zero, that will be my stop loss. I will lock in profits at that point if he ever breaks up above and then drops below. And that'll be a pretty nice score. And then I'll be reloading a little lower. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with 13 minutes to go before we get a new candlestick. Okay, I'm going to remove these lines. I know where they are. You set your own stop losses where you feel comfortable. Everybody gets in at different locations. But right now, ETH closing almost at the highs of the day. Look great. Bitcoin's improving a little. This candle still looks a little weaker, but it is a good one still. This is, I mean, blow away volume today would have been nice. Something up in this zone, beating everything else, but it's okay. You know, the volume won't be as high like this forever. We're going back to normal volume, you know, around here somewhere for until it starts lifting off again for real. Right now we're just trying to find the bottom, and it looks ETH has done it, outperforming by far the last 3 days. And Bitcoin, not so much. You got a red day yesterday. Okay, if I'm correct, we are getting a new candlestick on the daily chart in about just under 12 minutes. And it will be interesting to see what tomorrow brings. But for now, a sigh of relief. The two things I was worried about the most were a downtick on the CCI and a close below yesterday's close, below the 7 moving average, the yellow line, with a downticking. Okay, this has to stay up. We cannot go below the 7 moving average again on Bitcoin, or we are not bottomed. And let's just take another look at that. I can see it's up, but there's no way he's going to close below yesterday's close right here at the bottom of the fat part of that candle, called the body. So this is looking good. I'm encouraged. 2 hours ago, it looked pretty grim, to be honest. If we would get that 7 MA to uptick. Okay, that was a little low. Nope, I did not get today's top. Let's try that again. Okay, and this also looks very nice. Very similar, except outperforming. Okay, Bitcoin's close higher than this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, but not that day. Pretty similar. The highest close here is today. The next highest close was right here. So that's kind of a breakout on a closing basis for Ethereum, closing above this close right here. But Bitcoin did not make it up to here. He could have, but he didn't. So here we go. Tomorrow's another day. I'm going to hang out just long enough to see the new candle form. Which will be in about 10 minutes. Unless a time zone change has happened that I don't know about. Let's go back to the hourly chart. Let's run through all the time frames. Hourly chart trend is up. The 7 and the 20 are up. Okay, trend is up. Bitcoin strengthened at the end of the day. Just in the time we were talking, it was only at the top of this red candle here. ETH, a little bit weakness right at the end of the day. Volume falling off. Okay, CCI up. That's a buy signal right there. And Bitcoin has not gotten it. He has not gotten above zero yet. He's lagging. He's at the middle Bollinger Band. Bitcoin's above the middle. Almost ready to break out to new highs on this hourly chart. And that will look pretty good when you backtrack a little. Okay. Resistance here is almost equal to resistance here. It's a little far back in time, but you know, it's only 3 days. That does count. It is resistance. It needs big volume to break above that. We have diminishing volume here. But it's late in the day. This is Binance US. If I change it to international, I'll get a different picture. Yeah, pretty much the same. Volume falling off. So let's go back to Binance US where I belong. Okay, so resistance here, here, and here. Once it breaks above that, I plan to be 100% in on swing trades, and day trading with this account you've seen me use here with $1,400. It's not enough to work ETH. So once we're in the clear and I've discovered that the bottom is in, we're going to start trading my other cheaper coins, my altcoin favorites like ADA. Okay, I've got Ethereum Classic. That one's kind of funny. There's a good story behind that one that I forgot I owned a number of shares, and my brother called me and said, "Are you looking at Classic?" I go, "Why?" He says, "Well, it's in the $100 range." And we owned it in the $10 range, so I got him in at 10. And below 6, I started at 6 on Ethereum Classic. Forgot I had all those shares in a Coinbase account that was the pro side. I had forgotten I'd put it over there when I was trading there. But now I'm on Binance because they're commissions are much cheaper. Okay, I love ETH, my favorite. Okay, Link. Okay, the reason I trade these smaller coins, first of all, when I go to ETH, this is my mining account. This is where I get paid. When I get to the market and I want to go 100%, I can only get like, well, I own some. Okay, that's right. I bought that this morning. It's up. I think I got it at 27.05. Yeah. Okay, so I'm up quite a bit, and but it's only 1 point. Another one of my .1 ads. I like to support ETH when he's strong. Okay, but the point is, point 0.4 point. You know, it's 0.55, less than 0.55 ETH. But when I go to my cheaper coins, not Link, you know, Chainlink's, it was $25 earlier today, but one, okay, Harmony One and VeChain, they're both, VeChain's actually up too. He was at 12 cents. Okay, but I like these because, okay, Harmony One, I only trade the good coins that I think have a future. But the reason I like these cheaper coins is when you get a ETH chart on the left and a Harmony One on the right, they're identical on the 1 minute. Okay, and I can buy like 14,000 of these instead of point. Okay, only 10,000 now. He went up in price. Okay, and then let's go to VeChain, where nice bottom there. Okay, we are on the daily charts here. Okay, but on this one, 13.5. Okay, I can get like almost 9,000, 8,500 there. Okay, and if you get like 10,000 of these, every 0.001 it goes up, you make $10. And it doesn't take long to go from, you know, like right here on the big run, it went from like 10 cents all the way to 25 cents. If you had 10,000 shares of that, you were going to bank some good coin there. But my miners accumulate in this account. This is only one of my four of my 12 cards. Two other rigs in the other room. Okay, so I mean, I love trading Ethereum because it's my favorite coin, but I can't really make a whole lot. If I have 0.5 ETH, that's 50 cents for every dollar he goes up. Okay, so if he goes up $100, I only make $50 minus $3 commission here. And all right, let's go ahead and check. We're still on this day. We have 2 minutes to go. Let's get back to the real charts. But we're going to do some day trading of these smaller coins here soon, once we're sure that my positions in Ethereum are safe. And we're looking for that new candle at 1900 hours Chicago time US. And ETH is closing strong. Look at that candle right near the top of the day. A high day close, that's good enough for me. It's not a high day close yet, but we'll see this on the hourly chart. Okay, 1 minute to go. Let's see what. So everything I've been talking about is true. We have a green close above yesterday's close, above the 7 moving average that is now finally upticking near the end of the day. And ETH is just go for it. Way stronger than Bitcoin. It didn't fall as hard. Well, they were both down over 55%, but I think ETH will recover quicker, and we won't need Bitcoin to help us this time. I think maybe ETH leads the way up this time. Okay, 15 seconds. This day is done. And pretty happy with the close. Bitcoin could have shown a little bit stronger finish, but that's still, he closed above the previous 2 days. And I think that's what's really important. It's not the shape of the candle or the volume at this. Oh my goodness. Look at what just happened. How did that? Okay. New day right here. This was an uptick for the close. Just because he's down a tiny bit at the open, it down tick. Okay, that's nothing. We have to wait now. All right, let's see what happens here. The close is in here. This is a new candlestick, folks. Okay, it's an up, a close above every other close in this area. Okay, a close above these 2 days. This one and this one and this one, but not that one. ETH, much stronger, closing above everything you can see here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Highest close in 7 days. That's encouraging. Bitcoin, highest close in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but not the 8th. Okay. So that's it, folks. We're good to go. Don't sell. We're going up. The institutions want in. That's why the drop. They did not want to pay $4,500 for ETH. Why do that when you can get it for $1,800 or under $2,000? Okay, I'm not worried about what happens. You know, I don't like this downtick at all on Bitcoin, but this is just the first moments of a new day of trading, and we'll look at it in a few hours before I go to bed. But if it starts up green, if the next few ticks are green, this will start to uptick. So it's too early to say anything about today. The close of yesterday, impressive on ETH. Very happy here. I do not have to worry about my line in the sand, which is right here. I'm going to put my line back, because if I have to sell here, I'm going to be a happy camper. Everything I have starts right here up to about here. Yeah, I remember that one. So I'm in a $200 range right here. Added a little bit today or this morning. 2705, I think it was, right? Anyway, right around there. Not bad. Just 0.13, yeah. Another little bit I'm going to hold, because okay, I don't like predicting the future. I react to what's going on, but I don't want to talk about this now. I'm working on a research on a explanation. Everybody has their theories. That's not chart talk, that's news. So the bottom line is, like I said, expect resistance here unless big volume comes in. But look, there's no resistance, folks. The next resistance you see on ETH is at the top of these two candlesticks. And after that, it's up here at this, can't really see it, but the top of that red candle and here. And then after that, there's just no resistance. These could V-bottom. Okay, when you do a drop like this below the 7 MA, I'm not saying it's going to happen here, but because it would have done it already. But it looks like, and this is a very jagged bottom, I'm talking a V bottom. I don't see one on this chart right now, but they're just all over the place. And we're not going to see a V bottom here where the yellow line goes straight down and then straight up. We're going to have to work our way through this again because too far too fast, folks. There weren't enough pullbacks. We are now going to have to go back through this entire area through these big candles and backfill, and then we have a chance of breaking out to new highs. And okay, how long did it take from here to here? End of April, middle May. Okay, that was 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks. Figure at least 2 months to get back to the highs and beyond. But I think that's where we're headed because institutions want it in, and they've got the money to short and then cover. They were starting to cover here. This might have been their last short because it did go down quite a bit further. Okay, and then here's the buy to cover, and then the buy. They all shorted, went long at the bottom. They covered, they went long. And now all of these prices, if institutions, governments, Fortune 500 companies, anybody that feels like they're missing out on the crypto train, okay, they're late to the party and they didn't want to pay high prices. But anyway, as I mentioned in the video a couple of days before the crash, this is too far too fast. It's not sustainable. I expected a pullback to only about 3,200, which was where the middle Bollinger Band was at the time, and I never expected 1,800 and below. Okay, to conclude, this day is over. It's in the books. It's a good one. We can relax. Now, see this little down tick on the 7 moving average, the yellow line here? We do not want that to continue, folks. This needs to start up now. If this line drops below this low, the yellow line low, if this comes down and breaches below that, we are in trouble. And we go test the lows again. That's my final word. We need the bulls to step in right now, and we need at least 1 or 2 more big days of green. Get closer to this middle Bollinger Band before you pull back at least. Show a little bit of strength, okay? Get some volume, get up here, get the zero line buy signal, or if this is a weak bounce, if this was the top of this weak bounce after a serious under the 7 moving average crash, okay, if this dips and today closes below today's close, or well, the green close or the red close, now yesterday and the day before yesterday, okay, it has to close above today's close or yesterday's close today. Can't even see today's candle, it's so small. Okay, but it is red, down 0.91% on ETH. So let's take a look at the hourly finally. And there's going to be resistance here for ETH. He's at a point where it's going to take some pretty huge volume to break resistance here. And we're not going to get it because at this time of night, we're depending on the rest of the world as America gets ready to eat dinner, do whatever, and our sleep hours are coming. So we depend on the rest of the world to move the market for us when America's asleep. Don't want to talk about Binance splitting us off. That was not good for me because I had margin, I could short, I was having fun. Stocks fall, coins fall twice as fast as they go up. That's a rule. You can make a lot of money when volume dries up. What happens? They crash. When volume dries up, they crash. Okay, it doesn't crash. You know, when volume gets low, they drop the price to attract buyers at what they will feel is a more reasonable deal. It happens on every chart and every time frame. And then the big volume is at tops and bottoms. The huge volume. So, okay, that's it for tonight, folks. I'm going to take the rest of the night off. I'll go ahead and set my line on here on Bitcoin also, where I would not, if I own Bitcoin, I would not let it get below the lower wick of this candle. If you have any profit at all, if it breaks below that, you're going to lose it. Because a close, again, a close below yesterday's close or this day's close, very, very bearish. Don't think the bottom's in, folks. We are still. ETH is okay. I think ETH will be fine. But if Bitcoin crashes, guess what? Guess who gets taken down with it? Just about everybody else. I mean, you can see that on every coin I've shown you. My favorite 5. Okay, daily chart of ETH. Look at ADA. Cardano is pretty much the same. I mean, they all look similar. The forks of Ethereum follow Ethereum. Bitcoin leads Ethereum. Okay, these charts, well, except all this. This was kind of hilarious. Somebody asked, do I buy? I'm selling at 150. He's going, do I buy? I go, no. You go short right here. Right. Well, it did it right there. It closed below the 7MA right there, and then wham. But, you know, that's when everybody else was crashing. Chainlink, identical charts to VeChain, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Oh, that one's looking way strong. I love this one. This is my favorite trader, but he got too expensive for me. But it's cheaper than ETC, so once in a while I'll dabble with him. This guy has a what I call an axe. It's called an axe on the ask, where he'll show up with like $500,000 and block everybody. Ethereum was running like crazy the other day. I got in him with 10,000 coins and he didn't move, and I was wondering what the heck. I wasn't looking at this, and there was an axe on the ask, and I actually got angry at him, and then I realized it's my fault for being dumb and not knowing he was there. Okay, if you don't know what an axe on the ask is, it's probably a short who does not want the price higher, and he'll throw everything he's got at you to keep it from moving up. Okay, and this is VeChain. Looking pretty good. Almost giving that zero line buy signal. Again, a little downtick, even though we're green here. So if they're green, ETH must have gone green. Yeah. Okay, getting off to a good start for the day then. Well, it's not showing green here. It's green on the hourly. All right. So that's it for today, folks. I got my lines drawn. Let's see if they're going to be right on. Yep. That one needs to be just a little higher, and so does this one. Okay. Right there looks good, and actually that looks pretty good there. Just a tad up. Good enough. Okay. That's it, folks. This is support. If it breaks here, be worried. If it breaks here, bail. Or see, there's no support here. Just straight up above the 7 moving average. There's just absolutely no support except right here. And if this gets taken out and the price drops below here, it will go down to about there. Let's just look at the distance between between here and the blue line and the blue line and here. So if it goes from here to here, it goes from there to there on the fall of the, not always, but that's not a golden rule. That's just something I've noticed over the years. So I'm going to leave the hourly chart up because it's more exciting. Unless I can get my lines to be on the 15-minute. No. All right. So happy trading, everyone. I'm calling it a night. Hope you learned something today. Happy trading. Bye-bye.